Secretary, please call the roll.
The honorable members of the Commission on Appointments, Albano III, Almario, Aquino IV, Cayetano, Cortuna, Drilon, Ejercito, Floyrendo Jr., Gatchalian, Panasan II, Lacson, Legarda, Loyola, Ocampo, Pacquiao, Pangilinan, Recto, Salimbangon, Ramirez Sato, Soto III, Tolentino, Treñas, Zamora, Subiri. The chairman is present.
With 22 members are present, including the chair. The chair declares the presence of a quorum.
Mr. President, Majority Leader, I move that we dispense with the reading of the journal of the March 7 plenary session and consider the same as approved.
Any objection? Hearing none, we dispense with the reading of the journal of the March 7, 2017 session, and the same is hereby approved.
Mr. President, may we now proceed to consider the recommendations of your Committee on Foreign Affairs for the confirmation of the interim appointments of 7 officials in the Department of Foreign Affairs.
Is there any objection? There being none, the consideration of the recommendations of the Committee on Foreign Affairs is in order.
Mr. President, I move that we recognize the Chairman of the Committee on Foreign Affairs, Senator Panfilo M. Lacson.
Senator Lacson is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of this Commission, this representation as Chairman of the Committee on Foreign Affairs presided over a public hearing this morning to deliberate on the ad interim appointments of 7 Foreign Service officers of the Department of Foreign Affairs. The committee thereafter ruled that all the ad interim appointees possess the fitness and qualification to perform their duties and recommended that their appointments be submitted to the plenary for its approval. It is therefore my honor and privilege to move for the approval of the ad interim appointments of the following Foreign Service officers of the Department of Foreign Affairs, namely Mr. Redentor Diaz Henotiva as Foreign Service Officer Class 2. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion that the Commission confirm the ad interim appointment of Mr. Redentor Diaz Henotiva as Foreign Service Officer Class 2 in the Department of Foreign Affairs. Any objection? There being none, the appointment is hereby confirmed.
Ms. Carlene Andrino Monastrial as Foreign Service Officer Class 2. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion that the Commission confirm the ad interim appointment of Carlene Andrino Monastrial as Foreign Service Officer Class 2 in the Department of Foreign Affairs. Is there any objection? There being none, motion is approved.
I also move for the approval of the ad interim appointments of the following Foreign Service officers who are presently posted abroad and have requested waivers of appearance, namely Mr. Arvic Ventura Arevalo as Foreign Service Officer Class 1. He is presently posted at the Philippine Embassy in Muscat, Oman. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion that the Commission confirm the ad interim appointment of Arvic Ventura Arevalo as Foreign Service Officer Class 1 in the Department of Foreign Affairs. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Mr. J. Francis Galino Alcantara as Foreign Service Officer Class 2. He is presently posted at the Philippine Embassy in Bangkok, Thailand. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion that the Commission confirm the ad interim appointment of J. Francis Galino Alcantara as Foreign Service Officer Class 2 in the Department of Foreign Affairs. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Ms. Christine Margaret Mendiola Malang as Foreign Service Officer Class 2. She is presently posted at the Philippine Embassy in Tokyo, Japan. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion that the Commission confirm the ad interim appointment of Christine Margaret Mendiola Malang as Foreign Service Officer Class 2 in the Department of Foreign Affairs. Is there any objection? There being none, the motion is approved.
Ms. Ana Marie Cano Santos as Foreign Service Officer Class 2, posted at the Philippine Embassy in Bangkok, Thailand. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion that the Commission confirm the ad interim appointment of Ana Marie Cano Santos as Foreign Service Officer Class 2 in the Department of Foreign Affairs. Is there any objection? There being none, the motion is approved.
Finally, Mr. John Francis Solano Herrera, as Foreign Service Officer Class 2, currently posted at the Philippine Embassy in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion that the Commission confirm the ad interim appointment of John Francis Solano Herrera as Foreign Service Officer Class 2 in the Department of Foreign Affairs. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Lacson. Majority Leader?
Yes, next will be the report of your Committee on Foreign Affairs on the ad interim appointment of Mr. Perfecto Yasay as Secretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs. I move that we recognize again Senator Panfilo Lacson.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, Senator Lacson is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, this representation as Chairman of the Committee on Foreign Affairs presided over 2 public hearings on February 22 and March 8, 2017 to deliberate on the ad interim appointment of Department of Foreign Affairs Secretary-designate Perfecto Yasay Jr., which was submitted to the committee's jurisdiction for its consideration. In the short course of time since the appointment of Secretary Yasay, various compelling issues have been leveled at him in magnified proportions, all considerably relevant and pertinent to the deliberation of his fitness and qualification as the Foreign Affairs Secretary. The following are matters at hand. Number 1, whether or not his U.S. citizenship granted in November 1986 was revoked through the affidavit he executed in 1993, where he elaborated circumstances that made him ineligible for and disqualified from having U.S. citizenship. Number 2, whether or not he has fully exercised his right of renunciation and thereafter formally reacquired his Filipino citizenship. Number 3, whether or not he was issued Filipino and U.S. passports at the same time. And number 4, whether or not he has used his American passport from 2007 to 2009, supposedly during the time when he was no longer a U.S. citizen. While this representation subscribes to the view that the Commission's public hearing is not the ultimate forum to determine Attorney Yasay's nationality and or citizenship, it cannot be denied that the Commission on Appointments is also a proper forum to determine his qualifications and fitness as Secretary of the Department of Foreign Affairs. Let this be a reminder to everyone present in this hall that by definition, an oath is a solemn declaration accompanied by a swearing to God and a revered person or thing that one's statement is true or that one will be bound to a promise. The person making the oath implicitly invites punishment if the statement is untrue or the promise is broken. The legal effect of an oath is to subject the person to penalties for perjury if the testimony is false. At the outset, it bears stressing that the foremost requirement to qualify for an appointed position as part of the Executive Department is the possession of Philippine citizenship, as is stated in Section 45 of Executive Order Number 292 as amended, otherwise known as the Administrative Code of 1987, to be appointed as member of the President's official family. Quote, secretaries shall be citizens of the Philippines and not less than 25 years of age, unquote. Although the Constitution has vested the President the power to appoint members of the Executive Department as a form of check and balance, it has also granted the Commission on Appointments the authority to approve or reject any appointee of the President belonging to the first level of appointment, founded on the qualification, fitness, and character of the appointee. Thus, in the exercise of the said right, the Commission has gone over the qualification and issues besetting the appointee. After careful deliberations of the foregoing circumstances, and upon a unanimous vote of 15 of its members present in a caucus held this morning, this representation as Chairman of the Committee on Foreign Affairs hereby moves to reject the ad interim appointment of Attorney Perfecto Yasay Jr. as Secretary of Foreign Affairs. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
The pending motion is to approve the recommendation of the Committee on Foreign Affairs to reject the appointment, the ad interim appointment of Secretary Perfecto Rivas Yasay. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. The ad interim appointment of Secretary Yasay is hereby rejected.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President,
Majority Leader.
there being no other matters to discuss, I move that we adjourn.
Any objection? Hearing none, session is adjourned.
Our belief, our conviction, and kung ano yung inakala naming tama sa aming desisyon.
Optimistic kayong lulusot kung drug trafficking?
Ay, ako, ang bilang ko mukhang malabo sa Senado.
Sir, bakit?
Eh, yun ang bilang ko eh. Mental calculation ko yun based on my informal discussion with some of my colleagues. Mukhang sa bilang hindi abot ng 12.
Kahit drug trafficking lang, sir?
Hindi ko alam. Basta't yun ang bilang ko lang.
Sir, you say Yasay, that would also be charged of usurpation of
Well,
public
that's also one possible case that may be filed against him. Kasi if he was performing his job, his duty, wherein hindi naman talaga siya qualified and alam niya hindi siya qualified, then he could be charged.
Sir, was he also informed after the vote?
No, I think he's still in the office of the Senate President. But the Senate President asked me kung ano yung outcome ng botohan, and I informed him that 15 of the 18 members of the committee have unanimously voted to reject. So, hindi na siya pinababa.
During the executive session, wala rin discussion. Kasi 10 minutes lang yata eh, di ba?
Oh, hindi. Meron din naman. Siyempre, kailangan bilangin mo yung boto.
Sir, pa-elaborate lang yung sinabi niyo, he's not telling the truth. Ano yung sinabi niya, yung tingin niyo kasi nungaling?
Sinabi niya, hindi siya naging US citizen. Nung una, sinabi niya pa, hindi siya nagkaroon ng US passport, di ba?
Sir, kailan po yung last time na nag-reject?
I cannot remember. Since I joined the Senate two terms ago, wala pa akong narinig na nag-move for rejection.
Sir, ano pa yung process?
And then, may na-reject, I think, si late Senator Miriam and another one, yung sa TAR.
So he has to vacate now his position, sir?
Yes, definitely.
Today at this hour?
Well, because he's been rejected. He was just rejected, so he will have to vacate his position. And the President should appoint even in an active capacity. Meron naman succession eh. There is a senior undersecretary who can take over his place.
Applicable na yun today, sir, no? So wala nang DFA secretary.
That's official, that's fine.
So was he
Sir, dapat tomorrow hindi na siya secretary.
Effective today, effective after the
Sir,
rejection.
pinabisuhan niyo po ba siya na wag na lang pumunta ngayon?
Si Senate President ang nagsabi sa kanya. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Sorry, sir.